Brandin Cooks headed to LA, traded from New England in exchange for the number 23 pick in the draft. As part of the deal, the Patriots also sent a fourth-rounder and received a sixth-round pick from the Rams. Cooks, who spent one season in New England, totaled 65 receptions for just north of 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. It was Cook's third season with at least 1,000 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, trailing only Randy Moss for the most seasons with those numbers before turning 25 years old in NFL history. Meanwhile, no Ram has reached those marks in a single season since 7-time Pro Bowler Torrey Holt back in 2007. For more on the NFL, here's First Take.
So, New England acquired Cooks for the 32nd pick and traded him for the 23rd, winning at life. The Patriots have also lost Dion Lewis, Nate Solder, Malcolm Butler, Danny Amendola, and Martellus Bennett this offseason. Max, these latest moves, what does this say about the Patriots?
But you just said it, Molly. You move up 9 slots in a draft one year to the next, and that's the price you pay to rent a take the lid off the defense #1 wide receiver. Bill Belichick is just winning. He's
better than everyone else.
Smarter and works harder than everyone else. And furthermore, Stephen A., in spite of what you think about Malcolm Butler, he also doesn't care about what anyone thinks. Listen, Bill Belichick is thinking about one thing at all times. What gives Patriots the best chance to win? In the Super Bowl, in the upcoming season, whatever the question is, the answer is what gives the Patriots the best chance to win? That's the question he asks himself. They have a lot to plug in now. They lost their left tackle, Nate Solder. They believe in their ball control offense, obviously. Maybe this indicates Gronk won't go anywhere. The point is all that falls under the umbrella. Belichick doesn't care about appearances, Stephen A. He doesn't care about personal vendettas. He doesn't care about what it looks like to you, me, or anyone else. He's going to put the strongest team on the field at all times to give the Patriots the best chance to win. He just did it again. Think about that, Stephen A.
Hey,
you rent a #1 wideout, and the payment you have is you move up 9 slots in the draft. It's unbelievable.
Hey, Max, I'm a black man with a beak for a nose and a receding hairline. Do you care to say something else obvious? I mean, who doesn't know this about Bill Belichick? I mean,
be nice about yourself, Stephen A.
You don't know.
Who doesn't know?
You thought he was getting even with Malcolm Butler.
No, what I'm saying to you is this. We recognize all of these things about Bill Belichick. I'm asking you to consider, even with all of that being said, the moves are adroit. They're smart and wise. We understand it. It's going to benefit the Patriots in all likelihood. We get all of that. I'm asking you to consider something else along these lines. Although this was a trade as opposed to someone walking away, can we consider the fact that, dare I say, the Patriots might not be as attractive as they once were? The fact that you've got a guy like Gronkowski contemplating retirement, but speaks about Tom Brady as the ultimate incentive as to why he would stay, as opposed to the Patriots, their success, their history, tradition, their system, etc., etc. Is that not a possibility? The great Teddy Bruschi, who is a Patriot for life, loves the Patriots, okay? This dude is a 3-time champion with the Patriots. Even he sat up here on our set, scratching his head at some of the things that have transpired over the last year because it was very un-Belichick or un-Patriot-like. And you got to scratch your head wondering what's going on. When you see the exodus of these players, when you consider the history of Bill Belichick, when you take into account, Max, what you yourself repeatedly says about him. He's smarter in this and that year, but he doesn't care about what anybody else thinks. He's going to do what he wants and blah, blah, blah. At some point in time, can we not sit here while recognizing all of those things are factually correct? Can we take into account some of the ancillary things that may enter the equation? Can we look at it and say, you know what? The luster that this man once enjoyed and being recognized and renowned as this great coach that everybody wanted to clamor to and play for, could that be in the process of changing because that act has gotten old? Is that possible?
It's possible, but I don't think that's the answer. Let me tell you what I do think is going on, and you're dancing around it, and I bring it up all the time, so you should know this by now, Stephen A. It has nothing to do with Bill Belichick being unpopular, making unpopular moves, whatever that is, because he's done that in the past. But he's always righted the ship, or the ship has never been wronged. He continues to win. Here is the difference now that you're recognizing. The owner, Robert Kraft, who has given Bill Belichick increasing power because he sees the returns, he sees the results. at the moment of truth in the organization, blinked, he chickened out, he sided with the quarterback over the GM and head coach, same guy, Bill Belichick. Once he did that, it undermined Bill Belichick's authority in such a way that you are indeed right. People are noticing fissures in the organization, cracks in the organization. Gronk feels more comfortable kind of talking the way he's talking. In the old days, if he wanted to keep Garoppolo, he'd have kept Garoppolo. If he wanted to make him the starting quarterback at some point next season or the season after that, that's what would have happened. Tom Brady would have worn another uniform if he wanted to continue playing, and everyone would have had to eat it, and they didn't have to like it. But what they would have to recognize is there's the Patriots, still great. Bill Belichick was right again.
Well, listen.
But when Kraft interceded when he did, that's when all this stuff started.
Well, listen, that's fair, and I understand that, but did it ever occur to you, listen, when I hear guys talk, listen, Bill Belichick deserves our profound respect. His record speaks for itself. We get all of that. We can bring in Spygate, Deflategate, and all this. I don't care about all of that stuff like a lot of other people do. The level of sustained success that he has displayed cannot be ignored, and I will not disrespect a man like that. I don't like what happened with Malcolm Butler. I believe it was personal. You believe it was football. But let's also recognize that one of the consistent things that guys have articulated throughout the years is their love and adoration for Mr. Bob Kraft. Remember that. They speak about that organization. They speak glowingly about him. You know how I feel about him. So you take all of those things into account. Where are we now? We have to look at Bill Belichick. You keep calling him a winner. Listen, he's won. There's no doubt about it. We get all of that. That can't be questioned. But let's not ignore the fact that from 2004 to 2014, with Tom Brady as his quarterback, he didn't win a damn Super Bowl. Let's not ignore the fact that he lost to the Giants twice. Let's not ignore the fact that in 2014, when they won the Super Bowl, if Pete Carroll and Darrell Bevell didn't make the stupidest call in Super Bowl history, they probably would have lost then too. And so when we look at it from that perspective, there's a lot of things that we can point to Bill Belichick about, question it, but at the same time, we still applaud his greatness. The problem here is that this guy's attitude, the nonchalance or the dismissiveness about what other people feel and think or what have you. In today's generation of players, although it's the NFL, and institutional control is something that they enjoy for the most part because of that collective bargaining agreement that has tremendously empowered them. In the end, it could be getting to a point where you got guys that sit up there and go like this, man, we don't need this. We really don't need to be here with this guy.
Couple things.
We really don't.
Couple things. Stephen A., Bill Belichick, throughout much of the Patriots dynasty, it's been going on 2 decades now. It's the greatest thing in modern football, right?
And Tom Brady's dynasty. Let's not say Bill Belichick without Tom Brady.
I believe it's Belichick, and Kraft and Brady and others also had big roles, of course. But if you want to take one guy, I'll say Belichick. You can take someone else or also give the others credit. I'll say this. In all the Super Bowls, they either came down to a field goal or one play. The wins and the losses, every single one of them. So he's 5-3. Could easily, I guess, be 3-5, right? It didn't have to break that way. The point is, Bill Belichick puts the Patriots in a position to win the Super Bowl.
I have a question for you, Matt.
Every single year when the season starts. So that's one. Wait, the second thing is this, real quick. What do we always hear from people who are on the Patriots behind the scenes about who Bill Belichick actually is and what it's like to play on the team? It's much looser than people make it seem. He's much more letting the players be who they want.
Which is why you should be alarmed that former players have spoken out against what he did the way that they have, because they have a problem with it, number one. Number two, let's stick to this year. Don't give me history. I got all of that. We got it. We agreed.
Okay.
Let's stick to right now. They lost the Super Bowl. They gave up 41 points, Max, to a backup quarterback. Not only did that happen, Max, they were ranked 29th in yards allowed. They were ranked 30th against the pass. They were ranked 20th against the rush. This is on the defensive side of the ball with a defensive coordinator that just got the head coaching job with Detroit. You got a guy in Bill Belichick that's not only a 5-time champion as a coach, but he won multiple titles as a defensive coordinator. But your defense, so I'm only bringing that up to say this, Max. You give so much credit to him. How much credit does that dude that is supposed to have fallen off the cliff, Tom Brady, how much credit does he get for holding down the fort?
By the way,
maybe he's been able to offset what Bill Belichick lacks.
The same kind of credit that Kawhi Leonard gets on the Spurs. Fine, the same kind of credit that Kawhi Leonard gets on the Spurs as the best player on a Popovich dynasty presently. He's had a longer career so far.
That's not a good analogy.
You're saying the Patriots, let's stick to present day. The Patriots lost the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, where Tom Brady, who you just lauded, had the ball in his hand with like a minute or 2 minutes to go.
I just gave you numbers on what they did the whole year.
Guys,
defensively.
Yeah, but the point is what you're saying is he can win with a great defense. He can win with a great offense. However he does it, his team is in the Super Bowl.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Chance to win in the last 2 minutes of the game.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying because it could be, an argument could be made that it's because of Tom Brady, and Tom Brady allows you to gloss over the deficiencies that Bill Belichick might be.
Then why were Brissett and Garoppolo 3-1? Why was Matt Castle 11-5? Why did those things happen without Brady?
We need to table this for a second because we have actual news and things that we need to get into that's happening right now. So they have 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and a third, and we're hearing a lot of rumors. People thought maybe they're trying to go get OBJ now because that was the asking price, 2 first-rounders. Adam Schefter has said he heard that they're going to try to get one of the big 4 quarterbacks, and they're going to try to trade up and get them. What do you think of that news?
Well, for me personally, if Odell Beckham Jr. were to end up on the New England Patriots, as surreal as that would be with Tom Brady throwing OBJ to football, it would be the worst nightmare of Odell Beckham Jr.'s career, in a sense, because the freedom, the fact that, this penchant for speaking his mind and articulating his thoughts publicly and talking about holding out and stuff like that. Oh, it would be a new day. And that's in New England. It would. I'm not saying it would, but I'm saying that his behavior or his tendencies definitely, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying it would have to change if he were in New England.
You never know with Belichick, because as I said, what gives us the best chance to win is what he's thinking, the Patriots, all the time, right? OBJ is a little different than like Randy Moss because he's so early in his career still that his guaranteed money will be huge. That's not generally the type of superstar that Belichick trades for. He generally trades for the superstar later in his career where the guaranteed money won't be so big. That's 1. 2, I do believe he will select a quarterback. I don't know about him moving up. Generally, the Patriots find their quarterbacks a little later in the draft. Doesn't have to be the 6th round like Brady, but the 2nd or 3rd round like Garoppolo and Brissett. So I think they got to replace left tackle. They got some things to do in the draft, and they will draft a quarterback. I don't know about the 1st round.
Yeah, I'd love to know which of the 4 they have their eye on. We'll leave it there, though, guys, because we got plenty more on the Cooks trade from the Rams side of things. He's just the latest of offseason, full of moves, but find out why L.A. could be making a major mistake. And the hero of the national championship game is criticized for his Twitter account. Find out if it's fair or foul for the media to bring up Dante DiVincenzo's Twitter history. We'll get into all of that. But up next, Rookie of the Year.